So, can you tell me about your mapping experience?
Okay, the mapping experience was cool. It was something that me and my son D'Anthony did not ever did before. I'm like, with my son, he decided to go with somebody else other than his mom, which that's crazy. But other than that, we had actually fun doing it together. Me and my son, we had went to the corner store. It's at the end of Livingston, close to Livingston and I think Champion. We call it the smoking store. He had went in. He said, "Oh, mom, the store smell like cigarette smoke." I said, "I know. You see the person is smoking in the store." I was like, "So, do you want anything there?" He was like, "Yeah, let's see about candy," because he's so big about candy. So we was looking around. We seen a couple of items like canned foods there, which they didn't have a whole lot of healthy stuff there. Which the first canned food that we had seen was baked beans. The date was not good. The date was from 2 years ago. So he was like, "Mom, are you about to get that?" I said, "No, just wanted to see if it was something that I wanted," but it wasn't. So then turned around. My son had turned around and got some candy, which he had got Starburst, which the pack was like kind of dusty. So the dude overcharged my son and charged him $3 for a pack of Starburst about that small.
The one with like 10 pieces?
Yeah. So basically, he had paid for it and everything. We walked out the store. So when we got home, my two other oldest kids said, "Mom, where were you at? You smell like cigarette smoke." So we was like, we was at the store. They was like, "Dad, you smell like a pound of cigarettes." So basically, when we had went to that store, we said we'll never go back to that store again because that's all they do is smoke cigarettes. It's like, yeah. So we stopped going to that store. The next store that we had went to was Kim's Market, which Kim's Market was cool, but the only thing I hate about Kim's Market is that when you walk in, you don't know where half of the stuff is because they're always changing the aisles around. So we had went in, and like always, my son wants candy. So he turns around, he gets a sucker, a bag of chips, and he turned around and got a juice. So we had looked at the juice, which this particular day the juice was on point, the date was right. We looked at the candy was cool, but the chips was outdated. So turned around, he had went back to go find some more chips that wasn't outdated, but most of the rest of the chips was outdated. So I was like, they might be good, they might not be stale. So he got them. Then I turned around and I went for cereal, just because I wanted cereal. Their cereal was overpriced. They wanted $5.25 for a box of Rice Krispie Treats cereal. And it's just one of those medium boxes and everything. But I'm like, I could go to Walmart for a box of cereal. So basically, I turned around and got me a bag of chips, $2 chips. They was hot fries. Looked at the date, they wasn't outdated because it was the big bag. Turned around, got me a juice, which it was a Arizona. Yeah, never again. The Arizona was a can, which it smelled weird on the outside. So basically, I said I would never get no other drinks from there. My son had turned around also and got a candy bar. And when he had got the candy bar, he didn't look at the date or anything like that. So the dude, he basically charged him like $2.10 for a Snicker bar about that small. So, my son, he paid for everything and all that. The juice was $1. His chips were 2 for $1. His sucker was 75 cents for a blow pop. Normally, you shouldn't be charging 75 cents for a blow pop. 25 cents is the most. He got, what else did he get? He got some Starburst there, which the dude charged him $2.15 for Starburst that small with 10 pieces in it. So turned around, D'Anthony paid for it and everything. When we got back to the house, which we had to walk out, we had to look across the street, make sure that it was safe for us to cross. So we had looked, it was safe for us to cross because the light was red. Thank God no cars decided to go over the red light like they normally do. But we had made it home safe and everything. And as soon as we got home, D'Anthony had opened a candy bar. The chocolate was like a whole different color. It was like, you know how the chocolate is supposed to be black? Mm-hmm. No, the chocolate was an ash gray. So D'Anthony, he had tasted and he was like, ew, Mom, this is so nasty. I was like, throw it away. I was like, just don't get no more candy bars from there. So then turned around, the last time that we had did it, we had went to Save-A-Lot. Which Save-A-Lot is a little bit farther from Kim's Market and from the smoking store. So we basically walked. We had a couple of incidents because as we're walking, one car decided that he wanted to hit my son. He didn't want to stop, nothing. Anthony would walk on the other side of me so he would be safe crossing the street and stuff. So as we get into Save-A-Lot, we have 2 stop signs. As we're walking over the bridge, we have 2 stop signs. Then as we're walking towards what is it, Linwood, I think it is, over there. As we're walking towards Linwood, we cross the street. We have another stop sign over there. As we're walking up the street towards Linwood, because we walk across and then we go up. As we're walking up, there is a light, a flashing yellow light. And people are supposed to stop when they're going. People don't slow down. They just keep going fast. So I told my son just to look both ways if he's about to cross the street, because sometimes he likes to cross the street and walk on the other side. But he didn't that day. And something just told me, don't even move. And all of a sudden we seen this big gigantic truck. It was an SUV. It just drove straight, and it was like driving like 50 miles per hour in a 25. So basically, D'Anthony was like, Mom, I'm glad that I didn't cross the street. I was like, I'm glad that you didn't either. So we had finally got to Save-A-Lot, which we had went through the alley because I didn't want no more cars trying to hit my son. So we had walked through the alley. We got to Save-A-Lot, walked in. Save-A-Lot, it smells okay, but sometimes it smells weird. Like really weird. Which, when you first walk in, you have the apples on the right side. You have the potatoes on the right side, but in the middle. Then in the middle section, you have the bananas. And on the other side, it's right, but you kind of like looking left, kind of. You got the carrots, you got the celery, you got the lettuce, you have, radishes. Also, you have greens, which we had looked at some bananas because my son wanted some bananas. That day we walked in and went for the bananas. No, the bananas was like turning really, really brown, and you can tell that they was brown, and it wasn't no good. So basically my son did the noble thing that he always do. He picks up the bananas and he takes them to the front and let the people know that the bananas are not good anymore. So the lady had took the banana and took it to the back. And then he came back and he said, "Mom, I took it to her. I took it to her." I was like, "Okay." It's like, you're excited. It's like, cool. So then he turned around and got another banana, which these bananas was not even what you call it.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they were still green, which that was good. Then turned around, we got some lettuce. We got tomatoes. The tomatoes and lettuce was okay. The bag lettuce had the date on it, and the date was a good date. It was like from, I think it was 8, I'm sorry, 8/26, fresh and everything. The tomatoes wasn't rotten. The only thing I do not like about fresh produce is when you do go to the store, you have those tiny bugs that want to fly on every fruit and vegetable.
Is that just a table?
Yes. I'm like, so you have to swipe them, make sure that it's not on your food. But then turn around after that, we had shop for some cereal. We got some milk, which everything was cool with the milk. The milk was dated for like a week. My son's cereal, his cereal was dated and it was fresh and everything. We turned around and got some bologna, which the bologna was dated good. It wasn't like a weird color. The bologna didn't have no smell because I smell everything. I know that's a habit that I have. So
Sounds like
then,
it's worthwhile.
yeah. So then turned around, we had got, what else did we get? We got some chips. They got some juice in a bottle, those little plastic bottles, which those was dated good. The chips was dated good. What else? We had one in there for, that's what it was. My son wanted some frozen dinners, and he got some Michelina frozen dinners. He likes the chicken, what is it? Chicken rice one. And that was dated pretty good too. After that, we had paid for everything and turned around. We walked out, and when we had got home, he had opened his stuff and he tasted everything and everything was fine. I'm like, he had warmed up his dinner. His dinner came out to be fantastic since he wanted a frozen meal dinner. I'm like, the only other thing that I don't like about Save-A-Lot is that they kind of like take forever. It's always one person doing register, always. I'm like, they never have to. Most of the time, somebody's stocking meat, which sometimes I don't even go over buy the meat because the meat have like a weird smell, like all meats do, and it makes me sick. There's always a security guard there, always. He's always walking around just to make sure people won't steal and stuff like that. What else?
You said the meat always has a weird smell.
Yeah, it has a weird smell.
Is it like a
for me.
rotting smell? Or?
No, it's not a rotting smell. You know how when somebody first package meat up and they turn around and put it on the shelf?
So it's more of a chemical packaging smell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just can't handle that. I don't know why. But yeah.
Did the $20 make a difference in your budget, in your food?
It made a little bit difference in our budget and everything for D'Anthony, me, and my other kids. Whatever my other kids wanted, I got. I really didn't get too much stuff for me. I always get stuff for my kids. So yeah, it made a difference in our budget. But we still had to, when we do go, we still had, I had that and I had to use my food stamps because that was something totally different. But we was also going to the grocery store at the same time.
Okay, so you put your $20 in with your food stamp and your regular shopping.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
I'm like, it was just the difference of carrying all those bags.
You've spoken before about shopping at Walmart versus shopping within your neighborhood. Oh, is Save-A-Lot in your neighborhood?
Yes, Save-A-Lot is in our neighborhood.
Okay. Is Walmart in your neighborhood?
No, Walmart is not in our neighborhood. Walmart, I have to have my best friend. I had to have my best friend take me to Walmart.
Okay. When you shop at Walmart, do you run into, do they have a funny smell or weird smell?
Yes, Walmart do have a funny smell. They had to change their produce. One time we walked in and you can tell that some of their produce was rotten. It was like, my son, he wanted strawberries because he loves strawberries, and it's not the Anthony, it was my other one.
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked at the strawberries, when you flip the bottom of it, you can tell that it was molded.
Okay.
The strawberries was molded. It was each different one that was molded and stuff. So
was that recently, or was that quite a while ago?
That was quite a while ago when we
Okay.
went.
Has Walmart improved since then? Or?
I go to 5 different Walmarts now.
Okay.
So it's like I don't stay at one certain Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
The main one that I used to go to is Reynoldsburg Walmart. Since they had changed their produce and stuff, you don't get the rotten smell. You get the fresh produce. You don't get no mold. The only thing I do not like about Reynoldsburg Walmart, you have to watch the tuna. If you get a great big family thing of tuna, one day we had got that and we was making tuna noodle casserole, and we had got that and everything and came back. I didn't make it the same day, I made it the next day, and I opened my tuna and all of a sudden you got a rotten smell.
It was canned tuna? Or?
No, it was a packaged tuna, in a packaged tuna.
Okay, like in a bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically when we had opened it, me and my daughter, we was like, oh my God, what is that smell? And it was the tuna fish. And she turned around, she was like, can we eat this tuna fish? I said, no, it has that weird smell. And I have never had tuna fish from Walmart smell like that before, ever.
So that was kind of a one-off
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Generally, Reynoldsburg is safe and healthy.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite best place to shop at?
My favorite best place to shop at would be Giant Eagle. I love Giant Eagle.
Which Giant Eagle?
Giant Eagle in South Hamilton.
Is that in your
Yeah.
neighborhood? Or is it?
No, that's not in my neighborhood. That's like by my job,
Okay.
by Independence High School. Kind
What
of.
makes it
It's far.
so good?
It's good because they have fresh produce and they switch it out every day. They don't keep the same produce in. If they see something like apple rotten, they'll take that bunches of apples and throw them away and put fresh new apples in and stuff. And I'm like, that and Kroger's. Kroger's is not in my neighborhood, but the Kroger's that I go to when I need something is downtown Kroger's, because my daughter got me hooked on downtown Kroger's. I used to go on Broad and go to that Kroger's.
What street is the downtown Kroger's on then?
South High and I can't think of it. Sycamore, I think it is.
Okay.
But yeah, my daughter, she got me hooked on that.
What makes that Kroger so good?
Oh, that Kroger's has everything. I'm like, fresh produce. They even have a suey, those little, what you call them? They're like wrapped up.
Sushi.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what it is. They have a sushi bar, and they have a chicken bar, and turn around, every time we go in there, we look at how they making a sushi and everything, and it be so quick, like, oh my God. But yeah, they even have a place to where you can sit in and just eat and talk and watch a little bit of TV and stuff. That's one thing that I like about that Kroger's.
Is there any place in your neighborhood any food place in your neighborhood that you feel has as good a food as Giant Eagle or that Kroger's?
No, not really. Because there's only one place, and that is Save-A-Lot. We don't have a lot of food places like that. Like when you go to the dollar store, it just carries frozen food, ice cream. They carry drinks and stuff like that. But when it comes to healthy stuff, not really a whole lot of healthy stuff. I'm like dollar store chips. You get cookies. You get donuts. You get cereal, certain cereals. You get mostly pop there. And that's in my neighborhood, but it's not healthy.
Okay.
I'm like, not at all.
All right.
And just like dollar store do sometimes overcharge too. Like they say everything is $1. No, dollar store overcharge too. Cause just for a pint of ice cream about this big, they charge $4 for ice cream. Just for 6 bars of Nestle Quick ice cream bars, they charge $6.30 for only 6. Like, that's high. Like, bring that cost down. Like, seriously. Like, it's just crazy.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I think we've got a lot of material, so